Be me. Ananson Smith. The bullshit hits. Live in a suburbs because job. It's an apartment. Don't really know my neighbors and they don't know me. We're usually friendly. Suddenly dwarfs everywhere. They are confused and Angie and talking like short people. Carlos, one of the Mexican yard workers, starts yelling at them. They started yelling back. He shoves the closest one. Gets tackled like a jock does a nerd. Starts pummeling him. One of the Karens comes out to see the ruckus. Starts shrieking. Dwarfs start yelling at her. Lel short speak. I'm looking out my window at all this. Decide fuck it. Grab case of beer and head out. Canic on my hip. Whistle at them. They all start looking at me. Even the one beating Carlos. Offer beer can. They look at me angrily. Pull it back, open it and take a sip. Odd MP4. Offer another. One dwarf gets the stones to take it and try. Says something on short speak. Hand put rest of beers. None left, but no dwarf wanting. Now. I have a bunch of angry midgets as friends. We ended up going through one of the portals and to some mountain home or some such. I've ended up helping them with logistics and mathematics because I brought a calculator. Be me. Grandpa gives me an old family revolver. Tells me to be careful. Immediately put finger on the trigger. Grandpa doesn't care for guns, but cares a lot about archaeology. He has a working animatronic T-Rex thing. He spent a lot of money on this 2-foot-tall thing, basically a toy for men. I have the gun pointed at it. He's really visibly agitated by my recklessness. Being a funny guy, he sometimes puts a leash on it and takes it around the neighborhood. He loves that thing. I'm squeezing the trigger because no training. Round goes off. Grandpa runs out of the room in fear and slams the door behind him. Screaming that I'm sorry. There's a big chunk blown out of the T-Rex. Grandpa is yelling from behind the door. Asks me if the T-Rex is okay. Open the door. Get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Yes, once actually. Be me. Be pulling an all-nighter cause work and school. Go to a gun show. Buy a SIG P320. Cool shit, man. Get home. Have my Ed Glock sitting on my desk. Put both guns in my hands akimbo style. I'm fucking Max Payne bitch.jpg ND the Glock. It had a round in the chamber cause I dropped the mag without clearing it. Put a hole through my bedroom wall. Put a hole through the grandfather clock. Tear off molding near the window. Bullet lands safely in the lazy boy in the living room. Needless to say, I always clear my guns now because of this experience, as one always should. Luckily no one was hurt, aside from the wall and the clock. Be me. Comcom. My first range shoot in the fleet. Taking sick pics of machine guns and grenade launchers. Shooting pics of a milligram team setting up on a berm. Oshaterektualilidinja.cr2. I didn't think the range was hot, and they start shooting. 7-round M240B burst of 7.62 NATO Fury goes off about 8 inches from you unprotected ears. Go deaf and fall down grabbing me ears. As the hearing loss fades, hear the RSO. Get behind the firing line, Dumbus. Well, now I can't fucking hear. Fug. That plus the other times I've been without ear pro or near artillery when they're shooting the big charge 5 rounds has given me a pretty bad ringing in my ears and I can't hear most people in my office unless they are almost yelling. Navy Medical says my hearing is just fine though lol. We talk about sketchy times we have had around sketchy people holding firearms. I have 2 stories. The first one, everyone will say how stupid I am for it, but I can explain. Even if I do it's still stupid, so I know goddamn it. I know. Fuck. But good ending to the story. Okay. So. Be me at my dad's rental cabin in gated community because I got kicked out of my parents' extended studio apartment attached to their house because I tried to steal my stepdad's gun to shoot myself with it. I'm not suicidal now at all. I was upset that I didn't have the money to pay for back surgery cause the screws are coming out of my back from the first back surgery, quadruple fracture on pelvis and vertebrae. I now have SSI, and maybe I will make it, TM. The reason I told you is because I don't want people to say lol you spoiled brat, you are a drain on society Kai's FGT. But at the same time, who cares? Have light skin Nuka I know in town. Known him for a few months. Ask him for Right, and he says yes, but it's not really him. It's his brother who looks just like him. Need driving the car to the local gas station at him so I can withdraw some money. He talks to me like normal and is acting friendly. When we get to my place, I pull open my wallet to give money for giving me a ride. My vehicle was in the shop at the time and no one would help me out. And I grab a 20 and he grabs all of it, which is $200. And I grip it hard and I see a subcompact Ruger in my face and he says some type of ape speak like, "Gim that shit nicka." Give it to him, since I don't know if he is crazy enough to pull the trigger in the middle of a gated white hood, but whatever. Call my dad and tell him what happens. He believes me and sends me $300. So I made 100 extra for getting robbed. Stories, by the way, I of course didn't have a gun at the time. I wish I did though. I kind of wish I had grabbed his gun cause he was scrawny as fuck. Like 140 pounds 5 ft2. And I'm 185 6 feet. Be me and my buddies. Field strip a P08 because first time ever seeing one in person. Barrel is pointed in his general direction, still downrange though. Don't point that gun at me. He can see the toggle lock mechanism is taken out, parts on the bench. Sir, the luger is stripped. Wait, you have a luger? Walks over and finger fucks my buddy's $2K plus pistol and shoots a few rounds through it. They don't make M like this anymore. Be me, late 90s early 2000s golden age of milsurp. Bought a few K31s at $100 each, only have one now. Walked past several Hakims because the market's hot for them right now, they'll come down in price in the next few years. Walked past FN 1949 for the same reason. Walked past a fucking million Browning A5s for the same reason, and they were already dirt cheap. The things were so common at gun shows that it was a meme. Picked up a Cherry Maz 4956 with all the accessories and could only find shitty Portuguese ammo for it that wouldn't cycle it. Believed the manufacturer when they promised that it was non-corrosive. Narrator's voice, it wasn't. Bore is trashed. Butchered or assisted in the butchering of a few nuggets, but they seemed to be endless back then. Picked up a SVT-40 for a song because it didn't cycle. Previous owner didn't know it had an adjustable gas system and had the gas turned off. Went on to sell it for what I paid for it because field stripping it required most of the living room floor, and it was throwing 12 groups at 100 regardless of what I shot through it. Of course, things also went right. I kept the best K31 of the bunch. I have a few cool nuggets. I kept the only SKS that ever came my way that was worth keeping, a Yugo that appeared to be a fresh Arsenal refit, and I even scored a S2000 for $1,200 back in 2010 when CDNN was blowing them out. My most recent regret? Waiting until I was middle-aged to get into black powder. I never had an interest in it as a young man because only old men bothered with that shit. Now I know why. Black powder, like youth, is wasted on the young. Be me. Go to local fudge shop and see a 0.5 Enfield for sale, really good condition. Pay $700. Go to Cabela's earlier today. See 0.4 Enfield listed for $450. MFW. Did I clown myself?